everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a really fun card for you today. It was not anywhere on my list of things I was going to do this week because Stampin' Up! Has a couple of different sales. We have the paper sale. So most all of our paper is on sale right now as far as designer series paper. I'm using a preview one, so it's not on sale. But we have that. We have the sign up special. I have my card club, so you can go watch any of the little prior videos to this one, and I talk more about some of the specials. This is for card club. If you're in club or if you would like to join, it's an online club. It's a subscription service thing. This is the first project for June, but the 10th is the deadline for every month. So if you want to get in on June's, you need to go sign up. All of the details are on my blog or in my emails, so it's easy to find. But I had gotten this stamp set. I realized when we got back from our Norway trip that I had not, all of the stuff I had ordered had been for my Try It class. So I had some stamps and some dies, but not a huge amount because I mostly got all the papers, all the embellishments, all the ribbons and everything for your class. And then I had very few new stamps. So I did get an order yesterday and I got this really fun set, Scenic Wonders. It's just a standalone set. I think there will be some really fun techniques that we can do with it. So I pulled that out. I got a bunch of new dies too, and I'm really looking forward to using those, but it didn't work on this card. And then this paper that I'm going to show you is called One Horse Open Sleigh. So as the name suggests, it is a Christmas paper. I did find a way to use a piece of it today that I think is just a generic nature card. It's not a Christmas card. This paper is fabulous. I wish I could use it for club, and but I have a feeling it'll be sold out before I'm in the mood to do Christmas cards in club. And the way I used it on today's card, there's not a whole lot of pieces in here that will work with it. So if you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order this paper now. If you are not, then on July 1st, you'll want to order it because that's when our new batch of online exclusives become available. I got this. Oh, and I got the snowflakes. I should have shown you. I'll show you those in another one, the embellishments. There is a bunch of stuff as well that we cannot order because we can see little snippets of it. There's a truck and a truck punch. So some of the online exclusive stuff tends to sell out fairly quickly. So if you love this paper, or if the idea of a truck punch interests you, I'll have all that information for you on a couple of days before July 1st, but then on July 1st as well. So this does have a stamp set and die that goes with it. I did not get it. Just because I am not in the mood to make any Christmas cards right now. But I know a lot of you do Christmas in July events. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, it's not 12 by 12, it's 6 by 6 paper. It is not part of the sale. If you're a demonstrator, you just got to pay full price. So I'm going to show you the other side first because the front sides are fabulous. These are all just, it's a great color palette, and so you can kind of see the colors that are used in it when I show you these other sides, and then we're going to flip through. I almost used this on today's card because it would work with the stamps that I used, but the other side of this is so pretty, I didn't want to cut it up and not use it. So here, you can see it has a little bit of a winter Christmas tone to it, but also if you use this side, because I did think about using it for club and using this side, I just hate to not use the correct side. It has a summer red, white, and blue, green. The neutrals, it has that too. Now let's look at the front sides now that we've mixed them all up. So there, as you can tell, scenes, it's kind of on the horizon for winter. That's what it reminds me of, you know, when we had the Horizons Designer Series paper. Look at this one. Imagine this with some Wink of Stella to make those lights really shine. It's fabulous. See, I couldn't use this side when this is the side that, here's a little cabin. So it's wintry scenes. Here's the one where I almost used this. And this, if you're making winter cards, the stamp that I used, you could easily do that. The stamp I'm going to use in just a minute with this paper, except I didn't want a snowy card. Like I said, I'm not in the mood. Look how much fun this one is with just the little fox and the snow scenes. And this one, I did almost use this one as well. I mean, the trees are barren, so it has that, but it does have some green in it, and I almost used it. That's a beautiful piece of paper. Then we have some more snow scenes. There's several that kind of could interact with this, and as the name suggests, a one-horse open sleigh. Look at how cute this one is. I just want the little baby girl. The stamps and dies, if you do Christmas in July, are a sleigh. Obviously, it goes with this, and then you can put them all on. And then this one kind of also has, it snows sometimes here at Halloween. I love how it has the little bit of the petal pink in it. So here's the piece I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this side as well. But I think this is snow. In my card, we've turned it into more of a water scene. So it's just kind of a nice landscape. So we're going to use this. As you can tell, it's 6 by 6. So we need to cut it down to 5.5. But I don't want to lose very much of this. 5.5 would be standard card size. Normally I would do 5 1/4 to give that a border. I'm going to go 5 3/4. So I lose less of that. See, I'm already losing. I'm doing this one the other direction from my first one. Then I'm going to keep this piece of paper here. And then this needs to be 4. And I want to keep as much water and of the sun set. I think when you take this part up here off, it also kind of helps it not look. I'm going to do 4. I think this kind of is a winter sky. When you take it off and it's more bright, I think that helps with it not looking wintry. This looks like it's getting ready to snow, and I'm not in the mood for that. I love summer, and we're going to do summer. So I do have the Father's Day fishing set out. And I think that there probably are some fishing cards that you could incorporate with some of these things here. So we have this. Then the colors on here are kind of interesting. I wasn't quite sure exactly the colors that are in this paper. And so I tried a couple of different things. And I ended up using, this is Pebbled Path. So it is one of our new in colors. The granite is normally my favorite color. This reminds me of a darker granite, and I really like it. So we have this on here. And then I have, I'm tempted to try, so I've stamped on vanilla. I stamped on this gray, and I'm tempted to stamp on this. So I'm going to do it, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to fast forward this bit out, and I'll go back. So we're going to try this first. So this is the piece that I got from up here. I'm going to flip it this way, so we have the same, because this is the way it came off, right? But I want it to be on my stamps to go this direction. So let's stamp it. I pulled out the one that has the, just the pine trees and kind of the water mountain scene. So I'm going to do boho blue. Again, these colors, it was a little bit tricky to figure out what they were. I felt like we needed a dusty purple because I think that kind of looks like it. So I'm going to use the sponge daubers. Now, if you are in Card Club and you watched the other video for your first project and you don't have the markers, and I told you that you could use sponge daubers, this is how you would do it on that card as well. So I'm going to add the boho blue to the places that look kind of like they're water. You could stamp these in green and it would turn into a field. And then you could do these parts over here, I'm going to do in a second, in brown. And those could be mountains then. And then you could do the trees in green. So I'm just doing it this color. Let me get that on there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. They can kind of go into each other. Now I'm going to go for Misty Moonlight. And I find when I'm doing a stamp like this, sometimes you're like, I'm not sure what I'm stamping. If you pull this back out, see this part right here where it looks like it's the hills or the mountains in the back? That's the part I'm going to hit now with the Misty Moonlight. But sometimes when you're looking at this, kind of hard to see what you're doing. Just pull the case back out and then it's really easy to tell what you want to do. So again, this is Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to go right over here where it looks like it's these mountain things, and they kind of just fade into that. And then the trees on the paper are, again, this blue shade, but I went with Pebbled Path, and then that way I was able to pull in my accessories and the ribbon and the back of the card and not keep it all blue, which I think helps make it not look terribly wintry. Let me get this in Pebbled Path, just the trees. And again, if they kind of smush into each other, it's okay. So we'll see how this looks on here and see if I have to edit my video out. I'm gonna go, we have a little bit of space of colors to work with, so let's put it here. I want the bottom to look more like it's water, because that's what I'm going for in this card. I think it's supposed to be a frozen lake. I want it to just look like water. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I like that. So it looks different on the paper than it does on cardstock. And in fact, it looks different here as it is on the smoky slate. And then I'll show you at the end how it looks on the vanilla, but I like this. And then I went with the words, so glad you're in the world with me. And part of the reason I chose these out of the set is because it fit the design the best. We do that, don't we? There's a have a beautiful birthday and live your biggest dream sentiment that come in, but they were not straight across. And I didn't want to waste any more space as far as looking at the background. So I'm just going to do this, and this is Night of Navy, so we're keeping with the blue theme right over the top. So we have that, and I'm just going to take my snips and I'm just going to trim around this. All right, so that's trimmed out. I could have moved it up a squish, I think, a little bit higher, so the trees maybe would have hit the lighter part of the paper, but I don't think anybody's gonna notice. So we have this. We have this little piece that I trimmed off here. That was the end, and I just want it to be the same length as this, so I'm just gonna snip it with my scissors. And then I want it to all have a little bit of texture, because I like when cards like this kind of look like they are a painting. I'm going to take my embossing folder and I'm going to run this through, and then I'm going to put those two through. All right, isn't that fun? It just adds a little bit more interest. You don't have to do it if you don't have a folder, and we have some other folders that if we still had them, I would have used them, ones that look more like canvas. So you can see now why I wanted this to be small. If it's very much bigger than this, then it covers up the whole design, and I didn't want to cover it up. So obviously I would like to be able to give this card to keep it kind of on the masculine side. So that was how I chose my embellishments. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and just put one strip of it so it goes all the way down this. And then I have the Pebbled Path jute that comes in the in color jute. Guys, this is fabulous. If you don't have this yet, you will find that you use it all the time, because all of the colors are just really good. So I'm going to stick this here, and then I just kind of want to give it that beachy mountain camping feel. So I'm not going to be super, like there's not any, I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to just kind of be on here. Like if it got wrapped around, or if you stuck up your clothesline while you're out camping. So just kind of a organic feel to it. And then right here, I'm going to go around twice. So this one has a little bit more. And just kind of press it in the back. Once it's on the card, it will be held. And then I'm going to go once here, which I did not do on my other one. I ended with the 2, and then afterwards I thought I should have ended with a 1. So we have that. And you can see it's holding pretty well. But now I'm going to take dimensionals, because this jute, you can separate it into 3 pieces, but that seemed like a lot of work to do for this simple card. So I'm going to put my dimensionals in these gaps, and that will kind of make the width of them be the same. So when I put it on here, the paper, then I'm going to grab the ends of that. And then this one has 3 over here, and I think it's stuck pretty well. But you can see that if you just try to flatten this on here, your paper is going to bend, because that's kind of a lot of thick jute back there. Add this on here. I'm gonna go this way. It should go about end to end since I trimmed it with my scissors. Put that there. And then I want this to sit on top of it, but again, you have to use dimensionals just at the top to keep it kind of even. So I'm gonna put 2 just right up here. And then to help hold this on, I am gonna add this, and this will touch that higher part. Couldn't remember if I took the things off. See where this is now? It touches, and then we can kind of put that around it. And then it also helps that this has the texture to it, because any place now that you need to kind of bend it, the cardstock doesn't, if you stamp this on cardstock, it's a little bit more sturdy. So this is gonna kind of sink in there. Add it to the pebbled path. Isn't this a beautiful color? I like neutrals and I like brown. And since I have gotten this cardstock, I have found a couple of shirts in this color. I really like it. Have this one here. Now I debated, do I put Stella on it? Because I didn't want it to look frosty, but it kind of looks like a starry night. So I just hit, not everywhere. If you want it to look like snow, you could add some white watercolor pencil to these, or some, but I just wanted it to look a little bit like it was a starry night. Because, you know, we all like a little bit of wink of Stella. And even if you're giving this, if you're keeping it masculine, guys like starry nights, right? I didn't put it on the water because I didn't want it to, I don't think it looks terribly icy, but I just wanted to make sure. And then for the, I really wanted to use the Pebbled Path in Color Jewels. I am totally out of them because we used them in Try It and I have none left of that color. So instead I went for the Brushed Metallic Adhesive Back Dots. And I'm just gonna add these here. These aren't perfect circles, so you also don't have to have them perfectly in a line. And you're all finished. Isn't that a fun card? This paper is just fabulous. So here's the other one. Here it is. This is stamped on the back, the Designer Series paper. This one is stamped on vanilla. I thought about white, but again, I was afraid it would look too frosty. And I think it's just because the paper is giving me a winter vibe when I first saw it. There's white and kind of vanilla-ish in that. And then here it was on the smoky, this might not be, maybe it's, no, that's Smoky Slate. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So you can see it kind of changes the way it looks. This one obviously pops a little bit more than that one. This one kind of keeps the water with a water feel as opposed to the white on there, but I like them both. I love this paper. I love it. And I'm going to have to get into some kind of a Christmas in July thing to show you some samples in July with it. Because I'm not a Christmas in July stamper. I am, oh crud, it's Thanksgiving and my cards aren't done kind of Christmas stamper. So that's what I have for you today. Have a great weekend and I'll catch you back here next week. Bye.